Welcome back to another edition of Coffee Time with TD. Move over, Rover, and let TD take over. Be good or be good at it. God is great, always in always. I hope you had an absolutely magnificent weekend, but you have an even better week. So, I am sure you all have seen the news that America bombed Iran. Do I think that this could or will escalate into WW3? I think it's entirely possible. But I think it hinges on one thing. Do the other Muslim countries, Islamic countries, get involved and back Iran? If that happens, yes, I absolutely see WW3 on the horizon. Will there be some sort of a retaliation from Iran? Yes, absolutely. Because as I've said, life and the decisions and choices that come with it have consequences and repercussions. However big, however small, there will be a response from Iran. Not just that they've started bombing Israel, but there will be retaliation towards the United States. So, why do I think America bombed Iran? I'm not even sure that they had nuclear weapons or were close to having nuclear weapons. Tulsi Gabbard certainly didn't seem to think so. And then somebody got to her in Trump's administration and said, hey, you need to change your statement and go back and say the press took it out of context. So I'm not even sure that Iran had nuclear weapons or was on the cusp of having nuclear weapons. What I think this was about is President Donald Trump needed a win. End of full stop. President Donald Trump needed a win because so far all Americans have is plastic straws, flagpoles, and water pressure. And now, as you've seen, the rest of America, MAGA, every politician that's not Democrat is back to kissing his ass. And that's, of course, you know what he loves and needs most. So I think that's what it boils down to, right? President Donald Trump and his administration needed a win, right? And he got to stand at the podium with Hegseth, Rubio, and J.D. Vance behind him, acting like he's Billy Big Bollocks. And that, for me, war is good for business. War is good for business, right? We know that. That's a fact. It's gone back to the start of time. War is good for business. And again, I don't even know. I have my doubts that Iran had a nuclear weapon or was on the cusp of having a nuclear weapon. And I think that Netanyahu played a substantial part in President Donald Trump's decision as well. I think he said, hey, you need a win, and we want you to bomb Iran, right? It's a win-win. Everybody wins. So let's do it, right? I think that's more of really what happened, right? It was good for everybody. Said, hey, all President Donald Trump, grocery prices aren't down. Inflation is still up 1 or 2%, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what else no one's talking about? No one's talking about the Russia-Ukraine war. No one's talking now about the hostages being returned to Israel. Nobody's talking about all that. Now America is back to worshiping President Donald Trump and saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And it was a good thing all around. For me, that's what it boils down to. End of full stop, right? President Donald Trump, Netanyahu, everybody. It was a win for everybody. That's how I look at it. War is good for business, but more importantly, President Donald Trump needed a win, right? Because when you get down to brass tacks, all you have is plastic straws, flagpoles, and water pressure, right? And you're 6-7 months into his presidency, and he's done absolutely sweet fuck all. Nada, nothing, nunca. Nothing. So that's where I'm at with it. And will it lead to WW3? For me, it all depends on if the other Islamic countries get involved and back Iran. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely, it's possible. But for me, again, what this attack did, it was a win for President Donald Trump and his administration. He gets to look like Billy Big Bollocks, and now everybody's back to worshiping President Donald Trump and saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because to be honest with you, Tulsi Gabbard didn't seem to think that there was nuclear weapons, and she is his chief spy. Until somebody came to her and said, "Hey, you got to go tell them that the press took that out of context because we're about to bomb Iran." Let me know what you think. Love you.